Hello everyone, this is John for Pokervip.com, and in this video we are doing a player review for MuscleMan81 over on Pokerstars. Looking forward to this one because he's not playing Zoom. He's playing regular tables, 4 regular tables of 10 and L. So we're going to look at what he does right, what he does wrong, try and sort it out. Basically just make him a better player and fix any leaks. He's got a hood running here, which is always good to see. Like I say, it's great to see people playing regular tables because I don't get to see it as often as I used to now. So it'll be fun to see what the games are like. One of the reasons I'm interested in it is I find a lot of regs went to Zoom because obviously you can play more hands, get more BPPs, do better on rate back and bonuses. And also just because, you can smash thousands and thousands of hands out without even breaking a sweat. So I kind of have this theory and feeling that the softer games might be the regular speed games. So we'll see if that is the case. One thing I've noticed straight away is that he's not auto-topping up to $10, which would be 100 big blinds. I think that's a must for anyone. We should generally be playing 100 big blind poker or more. And the reason is, if we're learning strategy from poker sites like PokerVip, if we're watching coaching videos, if we're discussing poker, then basically that's all going to be generated around 100 big blind effective stacks. So if you go lower, it's 50 big blinds, the whole game changes. Excuse me. So unless you're learning both 100 big blind stacks, both mid stack strategy, and also short stack strategy, then you're going to probably get into a few sticky situations. So straight away, go to the tools section of Pokerstars, make sure it's always set to auto top up. I'd also have auto muck on. We should never be showing cards. Extra button clicking is not all we need. We need to focus on, just button clicking our hands and making the right moves rather than focusing on which hands we should show, which hands we shouldn't, or even just the time spent clicking muck. Pocket threes under the gun I generally fold. I like to open as fives plus. I think that is the best strategy for tag and lag players. These small pairs are just often dominated. We're going to have to fold to 3-bets both in and out of position. Once we get called post flop, there's going to be a lot of pairs in their range, which will obviously be higher than than threes because obviously only deuces are smaller. So I like to open fives plus and fold the deuces, threes, and fours. I have just realised I pronounced his name wrong to start off with. It's MuscleMan81. I do apologise, my eyes are not the best. To sign up to Pokerstars, go to pokervip.com/deals. Go through the link and get the most out of our bonuses that we offer. Ace 10, again, I generally open this from the cutoff onwards. However, if we are a looser player, then Ace 10 is totally fine. I am actually going to start opening it a little bit more now because I'm changing my game up, so I will say this is fine. C-betting on this board is absolutely a-okay. Obviously, the Jack does hit a lot of this guy's range. But we're going to get him to fold some Broadways, going to get him to fold some over ace highs. He's going to fold his small pocket pairs, and getting folds is always a good thing. But not only that, we obviously can turn some equity with another diamond, we can turn a straight draw, or obviously we could even just turn a pair, which an ace is likely to be good, a 10 will sometimes be good. Ace jack suited here versus a 3-bet, fine to peel. This guy's 3-bet is 0%, but only over 33 hands by looks of it. But we've got a hand that makes the nuts in position. We've got some blockers for his big, aces and whatnot, so absolutely fine. He's just noticed that the guy's 3-bet is 0, but I still don't think that even makes much of a difference. I think we should generally be defending versus 3-bets with this hand. To this C-bet, and we could sometimes think about raising or calling, but I would probably just opt on the side of folding because I've got no information on this guy. 10 jack on table 2, yep, fold versus the 3-bet, and king 5 fold down there. Looks like we're going to float here with ace jack, which I understand. Just if we are going to float, that means on the turn we have to make a play. Sadly, this isn't the card we wanted. It does hit Art's range. Obviously, he's going to have a few decent kings, but also the fact that he can then go ahead and rep this. Once it's checked to us, I think we go ahead and bet. I think we try and get him to fold his hands like 9s, 7s, 8x, and so on. This river is really tricky for us. He's going to have a decent amount of hands that beat us. But once he checks the turn, I might make the call because he's only kind of repping ace-queen here. It's quite a lazy bet as well. So I expect to see ace-queen as a hand that beats us, or a hand like maybe 10-jack or king-jack suited. Get a check king-queen, so a nice line by him there. You know, the good old-fashioned bet check bet is often a value line. Is an annoying position, but you know, we did go ahead and call and hit our hand, so it does become tough to fold if we don't believe them. And again, like I said at the start of the video, we should definitely be topping up here. You see, now we've got 60 big blinds, so should we be calling with these pocket pairs to set mine? Should we be, you know, opening these hands? You know, all these answers now change. King deuce suited here, we can call or 3-bet. If the guy's got a big fold to 3-bet, then we just go ahead and do that. We could even do it quite often anyway, because people like to, you know, open small blinds and fold pretty quickly to a 3-bet because they don't want to play out of position. So, and definitely if they're passive, they won't be 4-betting too often. I'll probably fold this flop. I think it is a bit too crazy to go ahead and peel an 8-10 ace with 2 diamonds board. I think we can just get into a bit of trouble here and just be giving away a bit of money. We're just praying that the guy checks, and when we bet, he folds. Once he has checked, I think it's absolutely fine to go ahead and bet, even though we do have some showdown equity with king high. I would prefer to bet to get a fold. It worked that time, but again, I think that's not the board we should be floating on. Everything good so far? Leave some comments below if you agree or disagree with what I say, or if you have any other input into how this guy plays. We're all here to help ourselves. This is obviously a leak. We should never be checking our results throughout a game. It literally does not matter. And it's hard to tell people that these things don't matter, because obviously money matters and playing well matters, but honestly, whilst you're in a session, it's totally irrelevant unless you're in a bad game. But you should know you're in a bad game by just looking at the table. Also, just for me making a video, this is pretty annoying to see, so if everyone could please stop it, that would be great. 5-7 on the button's a good hand to open. We folded it though because we were paying too much attention to our graph. You know, I speak to a lot of students about, you know, just the whole general look forward rather than, you know, constantly trying to, you know, catch up for losses or, you know, see what you can do. Just, God knows what he's doing here. Just try and play your best, and that's all that really matters. Some good folds here. It looks like he went to auto. It looks like he went to top up, then decided against it. Obviously a leak, but I won't go on too much more about that. Really interesting table theme he's got going on here. I've never seen someone with the playing in a field look. Not too sure why he's got that. Bit of a random one. Ace-5 suited, always an open. As is the Ace-4 suited in the cutoff. Just, yep, 3 big blinds is fine. Nice, you know, suited connectors that we can, well, not suited connectors, but, you know, suited semi-connecting hands that we can make, you know, straights and draws with. I might go for a check call on this 4-5-6, or you know, c-bet the turn. We can get value from obviously draws, but I like sometimes check calling is fine because, you know, we can turn some equity and we can get value. We can allow them to bet all their bluffs on the flop. So the ace king here, we've gone for an instant 3-bet versus an undergun open versus a tight player or versus an unknown. We can actually just call there. It's not a must 3-bet, although we are going to get some good value, and obviously people aren't going to come in behind us with hands that will make it more difficult for us to play, because obviously post flop we want this to be heads up. Sizing wise, 36 to 90, yeah, it's fine. Could even go, you know, slightly smaller, like 105, 110. 10 jack suited went for a 3-bet, that's fine. But again, you know, with 60 big blinds, it's going to play differently to having 100 big blinds. Pair of deuces here, looks like one player opened and we called. I would probably fold pre-flop. Versus two players is fine. But versus one, we're just going to be folding a lot of flops. If you're looking for sites that are not Pokerstars and you want to play regular games at 10NL, I would say Unibet, iPoker, or Sky if you're from UK, Ireland, or Finland. iPoker will probably be your best bet. Lots of games. 50% plus rakeback, bonuses, promotions, and softer games. Looking around these tables, though, I do definitely think these 10NL games are softer than the 10NL Zoom games that PokerStars offer. So if you're playing Zoom, I'd definitely go try and check these out. I mean, I'm sure you've watched this thinking, wow, this looks incredibly soft. So maybe jump on, give it a go, and see how it affects your profit and loss graph. Fives here, go for a 3-bet or fold, I don't like to call. Versus this guy, I think it folds absolutely fine. He plays 14-9. The problem here we're calling is we're going to be out of position, we're set mining, and we're just going to check fold a heap. Also, you know, the big blind can squeeze behind us and we'll have to fold. Ace-7, we defended, which I don't like. However, once we hit second pair with top kicker, I think we have to call once. Especially versus a 44-26 fishy looking player. I think that's a pretty easy call. You know, if we're calling with Ace-7, what are we hoping to hit? Is the main reason to sort of fold pre-flop. But then post-flop, if we do hit, you know, second pair top kicker, then that's kind of as good as it's gonna get without making, you know, a massive hand. So maybe just hang around slightly there. Big all in there. Ace Queen versus Kings. Kings hold. The money went to the fishy player, which is always good to see. We want them in the game. King Deuce suited, I like a 2.5x button open, really nice. Pocket fours again, we could fold pre-flop, not a must open. King Deuce suited, obviously to this jam's a fold. We've got to watch out for this guy, see what he is jamming with. Maybe he's just on a mission, maybe he only does it with big hands. So we kind of need to watch him to see what we then go ahead and start calling with. Some very simple folds going on. So MuscleMan to me seems slightly inexperienced with what he's calling without position, what his opening ranges are, the fact he doesn't have auto top up on, and the fact he has, you know, he doesn't have auto muck on as well. But there's definitely signs, well, good signs here that he can improve. Obviously, making this video is a great thing to do. He's going to learn some things very quickly from it. And then the whole thing after then is to just keep on practicing and practicing and practicing. You know, the leaks that so far we've mentioned are so, you know, easy to fix. Auto top up, click a button. Auto muck, click a button. Fold out of position more with your smaller pairs. Think about opening ranges a little bit better. I mean, these things are just very simple. So I can imagine in a month's time he might comment saying that he's gone from strength to strength and is now winning and crushing the games. And if you want to make a review for me to talk over, just go to the our forum, go to the Poker Strategy subforum, and at the top you'll see a sticky which says free video reviews for everyone. Just put your name down. All you have to do is have 10 posts so you can receive a PM from me, and you're good to go. Ace deuce is definitely a fold here. I don't think it's a spot we should be 3-betting. Even a guy is a weak fish, we just don't want to 3-bet junky hands like that for a majority of this guy's stack. Ace jack is a very easy open that we should open from all positions. So it seems like he goes 3x from all positions, apart from the button where he goes 2.5x. I really like that strategy. I think that's pretty solid. The weak player calls here. We can maybe go for a check, just because we literally smash his board so hard and he doesn't. So we could just try and be deceptive. Going 2/3 of the pot is a big bet, so we're kind of expecting this guy to have something that we cooler, or for him to go crazy, which I think might be a bit too, eager of us. Obviously, once this guy starts bombing, we just call. I'd like to have seen a tank on that turn. I think we don't want to make this guy so sure that we have the nuts. So yeah, maybe a tank would have been a good idea there rather than snapping. Once he checks the river, yeah, it's pretty easy all in, and the guy pays it off. Jack 5-6, under the gun opened, under the gun +1 3-bet, we called. I think that's absolutely fine. I think the flop is a must bet. We're going to get check raised a decent amount. We're going to get check called a decent amount. We're going to get value from hands like 9s and 10s if he decides to 3-bet us pre-flop, which he probably doesn't, but it's definitely not impossible for him to have. So I think we just go for straight up value there on the flop and turn. We need to build the pot to get the monies in. Jack Queen looks like we opened. I would go for maybe we didn't open if we checked. I would generally just go for a C, but if we didn't open, yeah, check call is absolutely fine. Five three suited, absolutely cool and dandy to open. Jack Queen here, just a very easy just call. Got the Queen of Clubs in our hand. We've got top pair with a Queen kicker. I mean, that's it's a good position to be in, but not the greatest. Yeah, I'm going to expect Igor to bet some bluffs, his flush draws, his made hands. So I expect to see a double barrel a decent amount of time, which again I'm just calling. Good river for us. We make a full house. Again, I would just go for just a check call. Fours, I assume he's going to open, which becomes okay because it's five-handed, but again, like I say, open fives plus. If it's four-handed, I certainly do open fours. If it's five-handed, it's close. So this is the position nobody likes to be in when somebody jams, because they literally rep 8-6 or an overpair very well. He's bet twice the pot. Obviously, it's tough for us to ever fold it because he could just have a jack and be trying to get the chop, or he could have just turned nines full and be the sickest caller of the day. Not an easy fold to make. In a lot of games, I do make it because they do kind of generally have it. It's not often the chop, and it's very rarely nothing. It's normally just something that causes us, but I do understand it's hard to fold, and yeah, we lose a big one there, sadly. Pocket fours, just going for, a bet line. I think we need to go higher than half pot. I think we, just put a little bit more effort into this and use the bet slider and make it around, 95 cents, 105, something along there. We get check raised. I would just call. Basically, the reason to just call is in case he's bluffing. We don't want to blow him off his hand. The pot's going to be pretty big by the river anyway, so we should be able to get the stacks in. So yeah, here I'm just quite happy calling. We could, of course, be beat by pocket sevens or king jack or something. But yeah, it's a very easy call for me here. And he has ace jack, so a pretty sick cooler that we were on the good side of. Happy days. Win one, lose one. That's pretty much the way life can go sometimes. Six nine suited, we can 3-bet or defend. This guy's fall to 3-bet is 75%, so I go for a 3-bet here. He's going to open the button probably 45% of the time. He's going to fall to a 3-bet 75% of the time. Feels like a good place to 3-bet. Stop checking your results, buddy. That was the other leak. Not to check results. Again, pretty easy fix. Don't do it. Ace King here, dead easy squeeze. I think we can go slightly bigger than 130. I'd like to see like 150, 160 here against two opponents out of position. Maybe a bit of laziness here just by clicking the pot button. Although it certainly isn't bad, you know, it's over 4x, but maybe just add a little bit of juice on an extra big blind or two. We get called, we nail the flop. Here we can go around, you know, half pot. We could even bet smaller if we want to balance this with our bluffing range post flop. It's gone for 143, quite a steep bet, you know, on a very dry board. Certainly can't expect too many junkish hands to call us. I wouldn't be fist pumping that I have definitely the best hand here. We can definitely be up against a set of nines, but again, you know, that's kind of one hand that beats us, so I'm not too worried there. On the turn, I think he needed to have a quick look at the stacks and how much he needed to bet to get it all in on the river. This half pot thing, again, is just lazy. On the turn, you know, just bet a little bit more. Well, flop, you know, bet a little bit smaller, bet a little bit smaller. This is a fold on the river. He's 100% got a set, by the way. I think that's a dreadful call, but I think we all knew that. You know, maybe just think a little bit more what you can have. It's a dry board, so my line might be small on the flop, small on the turn, bigger on the river, because, you know, if it's dry, then we just want money, money, money. So go a little bit smaller, you know, or go for stacks if you think he's going to call you off a king queen, basically. But a lot of times he's just going to have a second pair type hand or a hand that beats us, or maybe a hand like king queen, but of course we do block that. Sadly, we've been felted on that table, but I mean, that river, I mean, just from my experience, I think from everyone watching, we all know that's a set. You know, just 100% guaranteed beat. So it's an easy, better fold for me there. That guy doesn't look crazy. He plays 20. Oh no, that's not even his stats. His stats are all over the place. 27, 24. You know, he's not anything crazy. Okay, so we'll call it a video there because it's sat out and this is about to run out. So yeah, the leaks. Know when to fold. Understand board textures. Stop looking at your graph. Make sure you got auto top up on. Make sure you got auto muck on. Look at pure opening ranges. You know, construct opening ranges. X% under the gun, X% on the button, and just work around the table in what hands you should be incorporating. Bet sizing post flop though, just keep hitting half pot or something. Think about it. Take a couple of seconds. You know, level 1 of poker is what do I have? Okay, so that's good. Level 2, what do they have? You know, like the simplest things are the things that we forget. Just take time to think, what can he have that calls this? And then think, is it actually possible that he has that kind of a hand? And then go from there. Literally 2 or 3 seconds per decision, and you'll make a lot more money. But anyway, this was MuscleMan81's video review. To sign up to Pokerstars, pokervip.com/deals. To get your own review, head over to our strategy sub forum inside our main forum. And yeah, go look at the tables, and goodbye.